Tom Moran of Moran Iron Works is a true Michigan inspiration in his zest for life and his dedication to keeping this employee-owned iron fabricating plant he founded in Onaway, providing a Michigan source for the incredible talents of the employees in massive fabricating projects around the world. On a previous edition of Michigan Magazine, we brought you the story of how the love of ironworking by the Moran family developed into a company respected throughout Michigan, the Midwest, and the country for quality custom metal fabrication. From the impressive Gemini telescope infrastructure to metalworks of art seen gracing the plant's sprawling property, Tom and his crew tackle metal like true artisans. Since our last Michigan Magazine visit with Tom, much has happened, including work on a project initially intended for a Northern Michigan college, a tribute to Michigan's Native Americans in the form of a bust of an Indian brave. But because of budget cuts and financial hardships, the college was not able to pursue the project to completion. But Tom's determination did not falter, and a model of what was to be was constructed out of Michigan Onaway stone. Stately and inspiring, the over 35-ton model was completed and transported throughout the state for a presentation and display in various community parades. Then it made its way back home to Moran property until the spring of 2004, when Tom decided to donate the piece to the Michigan Magazine Museum. On the grounds, it would find its final resting place, a meadow in Oscoda County, facing east along M33, midway between Comins and Fairview. Little did we know the scope of its inspiration, as hundreds flocked to see the structure that first season and have their picture taken alongside of it. On this edition of Michigan Magazine, we take you back to that spring day when the structure would be transported from Onaway to the museum in Comins. It was a day preceded by much work at the museum site by Board of Director member Rule Detweiler, Cy Yoder, and volunteer Lowell Miller, along with our own Del Vaughn. They took the time to prepare the foundation of concrete that would accommodate the over 70,000-pound monument. Work on the foundation had to be completed days in advance, which it was. On the day of the move, Tom talked with us a bit about this impressive project. Well, Tom, this is May 10th, 2004, and we've got one huge piece of artwork here made out of some area stone called Onaway stone, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's
okay.
all right here from Onaway.
Tell us a little bit about the bust as we get a little closer to this. What's the weight, height, and some basics on the
weight
sculpture?
is between 70 and 80,000 pounds. We don't know the exact weight. It's 11 feet high and 11 feet wide, 12 feet long from the tip to the back of the head.
Oh my goodness. Now, what inspired you all to create this piece?
Well, if you want to know the truth, I've always, I've just liked stonework. There's something about it that I liked. It was something that I always wanted to try to do. And actually the inspiration came from the board of directors of the Northern Michigan College, NCMC in Petoskey.
Okay.
They came to me and asked me about a piece of artwork. They wanted a metal sculpture in a compound area that they had. They wanted something that would be attractive and fitting for the area, something that students would be attracted to as far as a meeting place or a study area. Wanted me to come up with an idea, something that fit the surrounding area and fit all that criteria. And I thought actually for some time on it, and came up with the idea of a stone Indian head, and only because metal just wasn't right for the area that they had, and they have a lot of Native American influence on that college. They have murals, a lot of Native American influence, and they all really liked the idea. But that was 3 years ago when the big budget cuts came and decided that it wasn't right, it wouldn't look good as far as publicity was concerned, and it wasn't just fiscally responsible for them to do it at that time. And then that year for the 4th of July, I liked the idea so well, I went back to the people that originally asked me to come up with the idea, and I asked them if I could do our version for a parade entry. And you know, they said it was my idea, I could do what I wanted, but I still went back to them and asked them about you know, I knew they weren't going to go ahead with it, but I wanted to do something. I thought it was a great idea. So this is kind of like a quickie version of what I was going to build for them.
My goodness, but it has got a lot of character as far as the stone. It's something that's all pretty much natural to this part of the state.
It's all natural. It's put together with, it's drilled and pegged. There's no mortar anywhere. They're all fit by hand. It's all right from this area. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a great tribute to Native Americans, yes, to the area, to northern Michigan.
Yes, well, this morning it's going to be heading to the Michigan Magazine Museum, where tens of thousands of people will be able to see it each year, which is kind of really nice. And it's going to fit right in with our landscape over there beautifully. And it's going to be something that, you know, is something that the Native American population can take pride in, because it is in honor of our Native
Absolutely.
history. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really great. I have a feeling, Tom, this is going to be one of the most picture-taken pieces that we've got up there.
And you know, we have the stainless steel feathers hook into the back. Okay. We have a post. The guy's got a complete installation kit for them.
Mm-hmm. So this has traveled through a parade once already, hasn't it?
Actually, a few of them. It's traveled to Traverse City. We get an award, and actually Traverse City, 3 or 4 years, 3 years anyway, we've taken their top honors there every time we enter something.
Which makes this an added thing about this head, is it's traveled the state of Michigan.
It's got a lot of miles on it. Gaylord Parade,
nice.
We took one of the top prizes there.
Really?
Yeah, so it has quite a few miles on it already.
Yes. And it's going to take about how long, would you say? A couple hours to get from here to
Yeah, at least that. They'll probably take it a little bit slow, and it's a good hour and a quarter anyway. It is extremely heavy. It's just hard to imagine the weight in that.
Well, how long did it take your team to construct this? Or was it a part-time thing?
Oh, yeah. Nights, weekends, that type of thing. And I would say a period of about 3 months, because what I did is I made a wire sculpt, or wire out of about 1/2-inch round stock, made a wire frame.
Okay.
And then from the bottom, I would place a stone and cut them, and then cut out the wire frame as I went up.
Yeah.
And there's an armature or a pretty heavy steel structure inside there that all the stone is like built around. All the stone is loose, so but at the same time they won't fall out. But it's not something that you'd want people climbing up on.
Yeah, right. I see the ones up towards the top, and they're all, the weight is keeping them in.
Yeah, it really is. It's very sturdy, and it's all pegged together. You know, very few of them will fall out, but if people reap on them or pull on them, which could happen.
It's made out of the same stone that the Milo Shrine is, that Catholic shrine down there.
Yes, it is a Niagaran reef of limestone.
Okay.
That comes to the surface close here in Michigan.
Where would this be mined, in the Onaway area? Or?
Yes, the old Onaway Quarry, or Onaway Stone Company, is just a little bit north of town in M211. And they used to produce a lot of stone there. Now it's mostly landscape stone. But it's one of the few places in Michigan that you get that particular type of stone formation.
Okay.
Very flat.
Do you know the official name of that stone, or is it just known as Onaway Stone?
It's known as Onaway Stone. I think it still has a state specification. A lot of state buildings were made out of it at one time. In the 50s and 60s, there was quite a production there of stone.
Yeah. It's going to be something, and we appreciate all you've done, and the generous gift to the Michigan Magazine Museum, now dedicated to the people of the state. Thank you very much, Tom.
Well, I'm glad to do it, and I'm proud to do it. Yes. I'm glad that it'll be sitting in your yard.
So do we. Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't long, and we were on our way. The structure, strapped to the bed of a semi, was an impressive sight indeed, making its final journey from Onaway along M33 to the Michigan Magazine Museum. Through the rolling hills, past familiar countryside, the monument made good time. Through the El Capital, Atlanta, Michigan, the truck and its cargo continued south. At the Montmorency Oscoda County line, the semi and its contents was greeted by the Oscoda County Sheriff's Department. Making sure all was secure and safe, the Indian Brave was honored with a police escort through Comins and on to Michigan Magazine Museum property. The semi-flatbed was backed into place, and the monument was secured and lifted by crane onto its foundation. It was finally home, resting in a permanent place of honor, a testimony to the true Michigan pioneer, the Native American, and the undying spirit of Michigan's inspiring people and artisans. Michigan through and through, a gift from Moran Iron Works to be appreciated and admired for generations to come, stately greeting those who will visit the Michigan Magazine Museum.